Good morning and welcome to Dale's Dinosaurs at the Pool Room. After this video, be sure to check out my other dinosaur videos. I upload a dinosaur video each week and interlace these with my other toy passions, which is like vintage Star Wars and Lego. A quick thank you to the growing list of subscribers. You're all awesome. Today we are reviewing the Hammond collection Triceratops, and this is actually I'm going to be doing this review in both forms, the adult and the juvenile version of the Hammond collection Triceratops. And then afterwards we were going to talk a little bit about the dinosaur itself. So let's have a quick look at the trike in its box. Hammond collection, as we know, have these beautiful boxes. They're they've set it up for the adult collector, which is pretty cool. I'm an out-of-box collector, so we're going to rip this open in a moment. But for those people who do collect them and keep them in the boxes, what a beautiful display they are. They've got these lovely black, I don't know, I just see black and adult kind of together. I like it. They've got the embossed T-Rex skeleton, the really cool window so you can actually see the toy inside. At the back we've got scene from the movie and also a picture of the figure in its pose, which is pretty cool. The other box, let's have a quick look at this. This is the Juvenile Triceratops. Again, the black box art, and also the figure quite viewable through the window, and a couple of images of the dinosaur toy, which is pretty cool. Okay, let's talk about the toy. Now that we've got the adult Triceratops out of its packet, we can have a much closer look at it. So to begin with, first thing that you'll notice is the eye is painted in. And, you know, this is a very early Hammond collection beast. So the evolution of the toy itself, I guess, is probably the best way to look at this, is that they were painting the eyes in to begin with, and then they moved on to the glass eyes, which is really cool because the glass eyes are just absolutely beautiful in these. The moulding, as always, sculpt with Mattel dinosaurs is beautiful, and I really do like this Triceratops. We've got these osteoderms. It's really interesting. We'll have a little bit of a look at it later, but the scaly skin on a Triceratops wasn't, I guess, this like these little dots. I think it was a fair bit bigger, but we'll have a look at it. And I'm not too sure about these different textures where we've got the lights, the small scales, I guess, for the want of a better word, and then these larger ones. But if you want to review that yourself further down the track as something else, then yeah, go for it. I mean, it looks great, and that's what we love as a toy. How true it was, yeah, not 100% sure. The horns are beautiful. I really like them. They're just the paint apps on those are really, really cool. Paint apps actually on this toy are very subtle. There's a lot of dry brushing going on here on the cheeks, on this frond, the arms, I guess, and both limbs have a very light, just a little bit of new colour here, the same colour actually that's on the cheeks. It's kind of nice. I like it a lot. Oops, sorry, I'm bumping the table. Back to the sculpt. The sculpt is really, really nice. I like it a lot. The articulation points are very cool. You can pose it for all you toy photographers out there. You can really get some wonderful poses happening with this trike. We've got the ankle and the knee here. We've got the shoulders and that's also the same for the back leg there. The tail has a few different points of articulation. That's a ball there, and that is, I wouldn't really call it a ball, but you can move it and get some sort of action on your poses, which is pretty cool. Underneath, just got a little airbrushing of a light tan, and yeah, that's pretty much it, which I like. You know me, I like my subtle paint apps, and good sculpt. That's what it's all about. Good sculpt, subtle paint. Right, let's get the Juvie out. Right, here is the Juvenile. So this is absolutely gorgeous, absolutely beautiful. I mean, like we all love Triceratops, don't we? And this Juvenile is the cutest thing ever. And you can tell pretty much straight away that this is a later Hammond collection, because, you know, as much as I love the adult, and you know, it was so superb when it first came out, the Juvenile I actually think is even better. You know, it's cool. I like not just the colors, but the textures are really nice. The points of articulation are pretty much they're the same as the adult, but you've also got this mouth. If we can, sorry, my finger's not really working very well. You've got this lovely beak here, working beak, which is really nice. What do we see inside? Just a tongue, but that's okay. It's pretty cool. Yeah, the head moves. Did the head move much? Yeah, we've got kind of like this ball joint head on the adult trike, which is the same as the one on the Juvenile or the infant, depending how you want to say it. But we do have the ankles, the knees, the shoulders. The tail just moves in one. That was a ball joint that comes apart in the actual packaging, and you connect it on, and you've just got that same tan underspray in here. Do notice there are these little facial horns, which were they in the actual beast itself? I'm not too sure, but let's dig into that a bit more. But do I like the Juvenile? Absolutely beautiful. And those glass eyes, look at them. Can I do it without sending everybody out of focus? Maybe if I center it. Glass eye, absolutely stunning. Beautiful beast. Right, let's talk about Triceratops. Now, Triceratops is a chasmosaurine ceratopsian dinosaur. Chasmosaurines had these prominent brow horns. Let me just put the adult back in the middle there. They're prominent brow horns and long frills. That's how you could tell. Triceratops lived in the late Cretaceous, about 68 to 66 million years ago, and what is now North America. And the name means three-horned face. Triceratops is no doubt the most recognizable of all the herbivore dinosaurs, that's for sure. And it's the best known ceratopsian. Just ask any kid, and every kid, you know, what's the favourite dinosaur? It's either going to be T-Rex or Triceratops. Would have lived alongside T-Rex, and had no doubt it would have been dinner for T-Rex. There's no doubt about it. These were going to be slow moving, and whether T-Rex hunted or whether T-Rex was a scavenger, let's talk about that in another video. These would have been on the menu. Sorry. What else? So we got today. There's a bit of trivia for you today. There's two valid species, which is Horridus and Process. Please correct me if I've pronounced that wrong. But throughout history, we've had as many as 17 that were named, and then since been clumped back into these two species, Horridus and Process. It was huge. Triceratops was an absolute beast. You know, I'm just going to put the little one away just for a little bit. It was massive. It was about 8 to 9 meters long for a herbivore. It's really, really big. I mean, like, sometimes, well, growing up, I thought Triceratops was going to be like a rhinoceros or an elephant or something like that. Much bigger animal. So 8 to 9 meters long, 10 tons in weight. Now, actually, let's get my mate Robert Muldoon out. We'll put him here next to Triceratops, but I really don't even think that does the scale justice. I don't think the scale does Triceratops justice. I think he's an absolute much bigger beast than that. So yeah. Anyway, well, it's had this beak. It doesn't open on this one, by the way. I didn't mention that before, where we've got an articulated beak on the juvenile. It's not on the adult Hammond collection. It had a beak, and it also had a mouthful of teeth, like these big dental batteries. So beak would have been for stripping plants, and it was a chewer. So all those dental batteries would have been for breaking down all the food. It was a herbivore, so basically it was designed just to eat tons of plants and munch them down just to help aid digestion. Now, I mentioned it before, just get rid of Robert. Mentioned it before that Triceratops had large scales on its skin, and you know, like, I'm really not sure, to be honest, whether these guys actually do it justice, because I can't really see it in the mould. As much as I bang on about the awesome sculpting from Mattel, you know, it's not really obvious. It looks like big lumpy osteoderms here, and you know, just the small scaly skin. But skin impressions, like fossil impressions that have been found, show that Triceratops actually had large scaly skin, like large scales. So we're talking about you know, up to 100 millimeters, so 10 centimeters in size, which is, you know, quite big. So yeah, that's I like that sort of stuff. I like finding out that extra little bit of information about it. The horns and frills, unsure exactly what they were used for. Could have been anything really. Could have been from defence through to courtship. You know, like, you know, the bigger horn, the bigger frill, the bigger the dude, or even just species identification. So it could have been just so that they knew who to hang out with. And speaking of hanging out, not even sure whether they were in herds. That's another thing that I learnt when I was reading up on these guys. Were they a herding dinosaur? Yeah, we're not sure. Because yes, there's been bone beds, but it hasn't really been. It hasn't been proven that they herded like we have modern herds today. A lot of the discoveries of fossils have actually been individuals or very small groups, very small family groups. So there you go. Listen, that's what I have on Triceratops today. Definitely an awesome toy, an awesome dinosaur. Yeah, definitely probably one of the coolest dinosaurs. Like I said before, ask any kid, they know. And until next time, I guess. So, as I always say, doesn't matter what you guys collect, just enjoy collecting. As soon as it becomes too much, you know, you just kind of have to step back. Sometimes collecting toys can be a little bit overwhelming, and we don't want to do it anymore. So that's why I always say you gotta enjoy what you collect, because you know that's what it's about. Until next time, this is Dale. Take care.